Hey, welcome back everyone to what was the name of that thing? Yes, Down the Rabbit Hole, the show where we look at random shit and ramble. And today I'm joined by people. Now you can talk. Yeah, because I'm on the fucking Discord server and I've been given inside information as to something I should look at. And yeah, a couple people aren't here. Is the Paco operational?
Yes, I am operational.
Okay, yeah. There's a couple people just listening. And then they'll probably just unmute themselves and scream a racial slur. And there's also another person, but if he wants to talk, he will talk. And yeah, we're looking at the 2020 Texas Republican Party platform? Question mark. And it's a wild ride because okay, so what do you know about Texas?
Cowboys, Confederacy,
Yeah,
racism,
racism. So
Fiscal, lots of it.
Oil monopolies.
yeah, the Koch brothers and all that. It
Tobacco,
appe- it appears like those ingredients have festered very nicely with the current like American political scene.
Americans, too much of them.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's we have some nice people that like offered the thing, but I don't care about them. Actually, who is that's the Zoom. That's not the page switch. Who is like the who are the senators from Texas? I wonder if anyone
There's
knows.
Ted Cruz, and there's
Oh, for
somebody
fuck's
else.
sake. Yeah,
Cruz,
Texas
Cruz, Camarada
representatives.
Inmediato Judicio.
Oh,
No,
there's this guy, fucking Dan Crenshaw. Holy fuck, I hate this guy so much. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Texas House of Representatives. No, I mean like in the just the United States representatives from Texas. Fucking Dan Crenshaw. Yeah, you've got a bunch of congressmen down there. Like, holy shit.
The representatives are proportioned by population.
Yeah, and Texas is like the second one in term, maybe third, second or third.
It's second.
Second after California and before New York. Fucking Texas, man. So anyway, of course, there's a preamble which is like, it looks like it's the Bill of Rights, except I don't know. There,
I think
it's
that's a preamble to the Declaration of
it,
Independence.
that might be the Declaration of Independence. I'm not me not being American. I'm not 100% on these details, but like, yeah, the Republic. Can I be racist against Texans?
yeah,
Like, I'm white. I feel like I can be racist against other white people,
why?
except I'm Italian, so
You are
maybe some of these people wouldn't consider me white, but whatever. I'm gonna be racist against them. The Republican Party of Texas unequivocally defends the right to believe in God, and preserve the Constitution. Of course. We recognize that the traditional family is the strength of our nation. It is our solemn duty to protect innocent life and develop responsible citizens. We understand that our economic success depends upon free market principles. If we fail to maintain our sovereignty, we risk losing the freedom to live these ideals. We, the 2020 Republican Party of Texas, believe in this platform and expect our elected leaders to uphold these truths through acknowledgement and action. We believe that the laws of nature and nature's God, and we support the strict adherence to the original language and intent of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. So that's like the literalist interpretation of the Constitution, pretty regular stuff. Sanctity of innocent human life. So obviously that's like anti-abortion. Fucking number two already. Number two principles: we hate abortion. Preserving American and Texan sovereignty and free. Texan sovereignty? What the?
oh,
Texan Republic, Vicky too.
Yeah, Vicky too. Moment.
They went to that to this day.
Holy shit,
oh,
these people played too much Kaiser Redux with Texas independence thing. But yeah, it's kind like any other like country on earth like really wouldn't let this kind of bullshit fly, I feel like. But like America has a weird relationship with like the weird I don't know, I guess pretensions of states to be like sovereign, even though they aren't, because the United States is sovereign. I don't know. It's well, actually, Yiddish. What state are you from?
I will not say. I will say
Oh,
I'm in the
okay.
New England region.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, like, do states over there like LARP as like sovereign or something? Because I feel like that's
There's like a
something that
very,
happens.
very small independent like an independent New England
Oh,
LARP,
okay.
because
So,
like we're richer, more progressive, and smarter than the rest of the country. Let's leave.
oh, it's that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's
Oh,
kind of like a Catalonia.
Catalonia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, because like with the other states like kind of LARPing, it's usually more like the southern ones and a bit the west, but yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
appears like
nobody in New England. Like, I mean, New Hampshire has this like very weird like, because their state motto is "Live Free or Die." They have this very libertarian-esque mindset where like it's a famous thing that like you don't have to buckle your seatbelt while driving in there.
okay. All
Like
right.
that's the closest you got to LARP. Otherwise, we're all pretty loyal to the feds.
Okay, so just like a it's like a 10% opacity like don't tread on me flag. But the rest is like okay. Limiting government power to those items enumerated in the United States and Texas constitutions, pretty standard.
Oh, can
Self-sufficient
you hear me well?
family. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you perfectly well. Actually, speak again. I'll check your audio volumes.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah, it should be very well understandable to the listener. Self-sufficient families founded on traditional marriage of a natural man and a natural. Did they just add natural to man? Like between one man and one woman is like the regular phrasing, but they just added natural because it's like no goddamn trans people allowed. Having an educated population with parents having the freedom of choice for the education of their children. That's very progressive of them. The inalienable right of all people to defend themselves and their property, of course. Free enterprise society unencumbered by government. Wow, only number 9. Damn, would have expected that to be higher. Honoring all those that serve and protect our freedom. My troops. Uh, my boner so hard for my troops. I love how like the government cannot be allowed to like I don't know do anything to me, but like it should have the power to kill all brown people I want because the troops. Uh,
That's why you give the cops like AFVs.
yeah, that's exactly like perfect logic. Although I heard that like the reason why that is that the military like buys so much shit that sometimes when equipment gets like slightly obsolete, they're gonna have to either like mothball it, which is like expensive, sell it outright to like for scrap, or just sell it to the police. And so like the most lucrative option out of those is the police. That's what I've heard. Although,
Yeah, but the cops also don't have the training that the military does
yeah,
when it
and
comes
then
to
they
handling
end up,
stuff.
yeah, exactly, and then they end up having,
I
Wacos and all
accidentally
that.
grabbed the gun instead of the taser.
Yeah, right. Um, right, I believe that 100%. I love how the first items are business, commerce, and transportation. This is like the thing that I read when I was reading this, that like made me 100% sure that I was gonna want to like make a full video on this because like the first item is utilities. We encourage free market solutions for providing utilities whenever possible, which is what Texas like always does, and what like caused the whole Texas blackout last December, I believe it was, or
It
maybe
was in the it
January.
was yeah. In fairness, that was also like an out of nowhere blizzard.
Yeah,
Exact like
climate
all this
change,
exacerbated.
not Chinese hoax, but like there was a similar event like 15 years ago that barely, or maybe not 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, that was like basically the same thing. And if you had studied that, maybe you would have realized that you need like a 10-20% extra capacity. um Because to those that don't know, basically what happened is the blizzard shut down like a few power plants, and because Texas uses like a free market power grid that's not connected to anywhere else in the United States, basically power companies are disincentivized to produce more than the market is going to eat up. So obviously, when like a few power plants shut down, then the entire system goes down because obviously the demand cannot be met. Anyway, the power grid, and so they encourage that, right? And then they go, we urge that the Texas legislature pass legislation to harden the Texas electric grid against cyber attacks on the grid's computerized command and control systems. Just like, okay, bit of a Tom Clancy. Physical attacks on substations and major high voltage transformers. Geomagnetic storms created by solar flares from the sun. And electromagnetic pulses, EMPs. Notably, none of those would have fixed the, the power outage that killed like I don't know how many people, but it's going to fix the Chinese like wanting to destroy Texas. I don't know. It's fantastic.
I think they they extracted that from an early 2000 section movie, no?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I don't know, fucking.
AMPs. No, that is from a Fast and Furious movie.
No, it's from like every like America Gets Invaded book slash movie slash video game in like the last 10 years.
Slash North Korea invades the US.
Oh yeah, the home front thing. I mean,
There's also a film about it.
of course.
Yeah, yeah. The film is
Oh, Red Dawn 2. Yeah, Red Dawn remake. Of course, of course. And there's a recent book where it's actually China. It's called 2034. It's an okay, but it's not the best book. And like that begins with like China doing a bunch of like 17D chess, and at the end of the 17D chess they just like EMP the United States. So it's I'm guessing like they're just like watching too the Texan the good folks at the Texan Republican Party are perhaps watching a bit too many movies. Smart meters. We support a no-cost smart meter opt-out for all utility, which I'm guessing it's like. Hold on. I'm guessing it's like those things. Yeah, those things that you put in. Like, yeah, I don't care. Insurance rates should be set through free market forces, of course. Interstate commerce. We believe that goods and services that are not transported across state lines are not subjected to federal regulations. Which is like, okay, I'm not sure for what that could be used for, but I guess like I don't know, to legalize drinking bleach or something. I don't know. We encourage the legislator to preempt local government efforts to interfere with the state's sovereignty. Oh no, who's doing echo?
They are coping about that again.
Yeah, I mean,
Must state rights.
yeah, they always do that. Okay, of course, we oppose all efforts to classify carbon dioxide as a pollutant. We oppose all efforts to classify carbon dioxide as a pollutant? Isn't that just like, not like unreality? Like, I don't know. We further urge the U.S. Senate to defeat the cap and trade legislation, which I don't know what that is, as it is outside the authority of the U.S. Constitution. Okay. Removal of government barriers and direct subsidies to the production, reformulation, refining, and distribution of energy. So, like, no renewable energy ever. We oppose environmentalism that obstructs. Why good? It when the alternative. Oh, go ahead.
We oppose the abuse of the Endangered Species Act to confiscate and limit the use of personal property.
So, what would? Oh, that would be like my power plant is like polluting the river and killing this fish. Right. Isn't that like the whole? I'm pretty sure that happened with like a bunch of like ranching incidents where like the Bundys or whatever were like killing wildlife through just using land, and they were like, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to kill the government agents.
Didn't like a manufacturer of chemicals throw chemicals into the water of some black neighborhood?
Um, not sure about any specific examples, but probably.
I remember something like that.
And also that probably turned all the frogs gay. Um, we support the repeal of legislation mandating ethanol as a fuel additive, which is like kind of weird, but like I'm guessing there's some kind of like interstate war on like what fuel should
It
be.
it basically like crack. It basically like is meant to oppose like the corn subsidized ethanol.
Okay, so wait, what fuel is used in the United States? Because here we have like 5% and 10% or something. Ethanol fuel. I don't know. Ethanol fuel is the world's largest producer of ethanol fuel in 2005. Okay.
95.
Well, of course. Uh, all right.
It's diesel.
E85. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, okay. There's big ethanol versus big oil. Lovely. Everybody loves that. Government accountability. We call upon the Texas legislature to eliminate all special collective bargaining statutes for public employees and to hold all public servants accountable for taxpayers for existing civil statutes. We oppose any distribution of taxpayer dollars to unions. Well, actually, I would oppose that too because union like influence or government influence in unions not exactly the greatest thing ever. But so I guess I have to give that to the Texas Republican Party. But I do love how like eliminate all special collective bargaining statutes for public employees. It's like, yeah, just no public bargaining for public employees and hold public servants accountable to taxpayers. How are they not? Because technically they can just fire people. Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You gotta get through these like faster because
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to take forever.
I am on a bit of a time limit.
Ooh, okay, let's actually go through this. Like, there's a bunch of like weird shit. Although I do love how they want to repeal the Dodd-Frank legislation, which is like the
Oh wait, read number 26. 26.
oh 26. Oh yeah, right. We believe the minimum wage act should be repealed. Oh wait, who was that? We oppose prevailing wage law. I love that. No minimum wage. This shall be abolished from this great land.
Wait, the US has minimum wage?
Yeah,
Yes, $7.25 an hour.
which is like pretty shit.
We didn't even have minimum wage till some years ago.
We don't in Italy. We don't have minimum wage, but we like in
It's
most
6.16
regions.
euro.
We didn't do like now we have 3,000 minimum wage. No, 300,
300. How is that?
300, 300 of minimum wage.
Like a month?
Yes,
Oh,
it's like cheap,
that's
but
still like really like
shit.
shit. Yeah. I love how they're like, let's recommend the state legislature to like ban doxing, I suppose. Social media freedom, I don't care because it's like every fucking conservative in America by now is like, the conservatives on social media are being censored. Just LARP. Small business. We urge federal and state legislatures to reduce regulations on small business and home-based work. Okay, so like, okay, I see what's going on. I love the just like we support free trade, and then they're like, we strongly oppose the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership (TTIP) and Trade and Services Agreement (TISA). We demand the immediate withdrawal from the Central American Free Trade Agreement (CAFTA). We demand the repeal of the Fast Track Authority TPA. So it's like we support free trade, but we want to get out of all the free trade deals except USMCA. Because I guess USMCA is like a Trump deal, and like the other ones aren't. No fucking
I
clue.
want my migrant workers to come here illegally so I can threaten to pay them less.
That's unironically, I think a lot of
Unironically, Spain.
uh, well, yeah, that too. A lot of conservatives, like conservatives businessmen, unironically like want that. It's like literally just fucking cartoon evil shit, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. Um, yeah, just a bunch of disaster stuff. I don't care. Regulatory burden on fantasy sports. What the fuck is
What?
fantasy
So
sports?
there's this thing called fantasy football, which I don't get because I'm on this server.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like I see. Il fantacalcio. In case you
Okay,
don't.
Fantacalcio.
Okay, you're not a true Italian, right? It's like
No,
basically
but
people that make up like fake they game like a fake sports team with like real players, and based
oh,
on how the real players play, it goes into their fake teams and they bet on them. Okay, so it's like kind of gambling kind of thing. Toll roads. We believe the toll should come off the road when the debt is retired, like the debt on the road construction.
oh,
Okay.
isn't that the peaje, the thing that takes your money away when you pass the road?
Yeah, it's yeah, for the highway. Um,
Fucking EU.
and then after that, they make it free. Damn, they're like really big. Look, did they want to build roads and make them free? That's like even more big government than in Italy. We pay for them, even though they're not government anymore in Italy.
In Spain, we wanted to, we have, we free them, um, but then the EU said to the government that we need to pay them back again.
We demand that the state of Texas and all coastal states enjoy and maintain jurisdiction and control of their offshore waters up to the international water boundaries, as well as state and land waterways in regards to all natural resources therein, and that the federal government shall not set limits on harvesting or taking natural resources therein, nor allow foreign entities to harvest or that's literally impossible for international law. You can't harvest or take natural resources in territorial waters if they're not yours, but whatever. Uh, Also, we demand that no entity shall usurp Texas's original title. I love how they're like they want to like have control of their own. I wonder if that would be federal or state in the United States, like the territorial waters. No clue.
I
Uh,
think it's like if the coastline goes back because rising sea levels, that like Texas's water, or I guess like like water ocean jurisdiction takes the same place as it is now.
yeah, that would definitely be the last one. Uh, yeah, they want like people to be able to do shit with groundwater. The Republican Party condemns the overcriminalization of trade in plants and animals under the Lacey Act and supports the relief legislation. Okay.
Oh, so they want to make black market of animals legal?
Yeah, something like that. We support lower taxes across the board. I love how it's like half of these are like incredibly specific thing on like the business should be able to do this and this and that, and we oppose all government, blah, blah, blah. And then some of them is like, we don't want no minimum wage, we don't want no taxes. It's like I'm incredibly smart. Um, okay, freedom food. All right. Predatory towing. Damn. That
55.
okay. I have no idea what you just said. Um, of course, employee stock ownership plans. Like, I don't want to read anything about that because I hate that bullshit. We call on the Texas legislature to continue to streamline the building permitting process to ease burdens and costs on developers and consumers. Well, we had that in Italy. It's called the mafia. I'm pretty sure they don't want it in Texas. Um, Although I'm fairly certain that they have their own substitutes. Taxpayer money should not fund or subsidize high-speed rail. We goddamn hate trains. We only want trucks. I don't know. What the why?
Americans to construct fucking trains.
Oh, the anti-train lobby. Businesses are not held liable for any customer who frequents their business and later is confirmed to test positive for COVID-19. Okay. The government should not be able to force businesses to require face coverings. Okay. All right. Vehicle title unions. Oh, we support legislation requiring labor unions to obtain consent of the union member before that member's dues can be used for political. What? No, that's not how dues work. When you give dues to an organization, you generally expect to have only the amount of control, in that organization's constitution over how those funds are used. So if the labor union wants to do political stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but if they so choose they want to, you can just not subscribe to the union. Whatever. Texas should prohibit governmental entities from collecting dues for labor unions through deductions from public employee paychecks. We encourage the adoption of a national right to work. Okay, so they just hate unions. Okay. Constitutional issues. Oh no, sovereign citizens. The Republican Party of Texas supports the historic concept established by the nation's founder of limited civil government under the laws of God, and we oppose the concept that the state is sovereign over the. And we oppose the concept that the state is sovereign over the affairs of men, the family, and the church. Okay, so let's unpack that. Like, isn't this just like the whole foundation of the social contract? Yeah, like not the church, because obviously, separation of church and state. Although I feel like some of the people in the Texan Republican Party are not the biggest fans of the separation of church and state, but whatever. But like a certain amount of sovereignty over the affairs of men, and the family is composed by men. Yeah, I don't know. So we believe the government properly exists by the consent of the governed, okay, and must be restrained from intruding into the freedom of its citizens. Okay. I that's just like nonsense, but whatever. Right to free speech, of course. Keep the oath to the Constitution. Okay. Preservation of our Constitution and Republic. We oppose initiative and referendum. Okay. We oppose socialism, communism, fascism, and or Marx. What do you mean, and or?
Communism with no marks.
Bra. Is a clear refer to the Sacred Union of the East?
No. Or any other form of tyranny. We support the Texas legislature and the United States Congress in enacting legislation that prohibits any judicial jurisdiction from allowing any substitute or parallel system of law, which is not in accordance with the United States or Texas constitutions.
Sharia.
The shadow caliphate of like the Mexican cartel. Like, I don't know. I do love how it's like socialism, communism, fascism, and or Marxism. It's like we're not quite sure if Marxism is those things previously stated, if it's the same thing or something else. So we're just gonna put and or. State sovereignty, of course. No foreign law, including Sharia law, which is, by the way, kind of like saying, I don't know, like hamburger sandwich. It's like it's the same thing. Sharia is a law. Like, Sharia just means law in Arabic, but whatever. Or international edict of the UN, of course, shall preempt the United States Constitution or the Texas Constitution, or be used as the basis for any decision except required by contract between individual private parties. Okay. Wait, so if like a corporation decides to abide by Sharia law, that's fine. That's great. that would just move to Texas and like found the caliphate Caliphate Sharia Solutions Incorporated.
Based,
Islam.inc.
And to manage all mosques across the state in accordance with the teachings of the Prophet. I don't know. Wait, we support the right to recall our elected official. The Paris Commune. Holy shit. What the fuck? Oh, that just kind of comes out of nowhere, but whatever. Habeas corpus. U.S. citizens. We support a change to the 14th Amendment to it and eliminate birth tourism or anchor babies by granting citizenship only to those with at least one biological parent who is a U.S. citizen. How fucking insane is that? Like, that would make it illegal for, like, a first-generation migrant couple that just happens to not have citizenship yet. Yeah, I don't know. That's,
Yes.
yeah, that's not what birth tourism is. You can do other also I'm fairly certain birth tourism is like a very tiny thing for like rich Eastern European oligarchs or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever.
But they're not brown.
Well, okay. Right.
Unless you're asking about the
Yeah.
Romanian oligarchs.
I'm not sure Americans know what Romania is. I'm pretty sure if a Romanian shows up, they're going to think that he's a Russian. Okay.
clearly a Soviet spy.
Communist.
United States Senator. We support restoring state sovereignty. Blah, 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 blah. Term limits, so 12 years for federal and state official. We support a constitutional amendment making English the official language of the United States and no more than two official languages.
75. Yeah, 75, repealing the 17th Amendment means that the state would pick the senators, not the people.
Hold on, what is the 17th Amendment? Wait, why is it in Italian? I don't... Okay. The Senate of the United States should be considered of two senators from each state elected by the people thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have only one vote. The elected in each state shall have the qualification represent for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislatures. The executive authority of such states shall issue writs of elections to fill such vacancies, provided that the legislature of any state may empower the executive thereof to make temporary appointments and build. Okay. I mean, I wonder why they want to, like, repeal this.
So before the 17th Amendment, the legislature chose the senators.
Okay. I don't know. This is restoring state sovereignty. So it's kind of like we are a republic, not a democracy kind of thing. This is all over the place. Like, some of this is just like insane, like Trumpian Republican shit. Some of this is like almost kind of sovereign citizen-y. Some of this is just Texas wank. Some of this is standard Republican, like big business / like we want like to be able to game the like electoral system in weird ways.
We want to be able to exploit workers and.
Well, I mean, that was obvious. It's a Republican Party thing, and the Democrats just only like pretend that they don't want to do that. Yeah, I love the national language because it's like there's a bunch of Spanish speaking people, you know, in
I think it's like 30% of Texans like know Spanish as a first language.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Of Californians.
Also, I'm fairly certain they have a bunch. Well, they genocided most of their natives, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of natives too, or maybe they're further west. I don't know. Anyway, we oppose all executive orders, whether by a president, a governor, or a local official that go beyond administration of executive authority. Also, this is like, we call upon the president to rescind the executive order allowing unionization or collective bargaining by any or all federal employees. We believe in equal opportunity for all citizens without regard to race or biological sex. We believe in Martin Luther King's dream of a colorblind society. We'll see if that statement is backed up by the further policies proposed by this platform. We support the affirmation of a traditional Judeo-Christian family values and oppose the continue. So they just literally instantly just contradict what they said earlier.
If I may speak about this,
Yeah.
Judeo-Christian values is just Christian values, but they add the Judeo so that like the Koch brothers don't feel left out.
So they're
It's like the Judeo and that is like
It's
the
just
the
social
fa- the fa- the far right's like conception of what a Jew is, aka some wealthy billionaire. That those are the only Jews that they accept because these are the Republicans and not the Nazis.
the billionaires in like the Giga Chad IDF who shoots terrorists.
Oh yeah, and the Giga Chad IDF who kills, and Ben Shabibo and whatchamacallit. Yeah, like all the wait, Prager's a Jew?
Yep.
Holy fucking shit. I didn't even know that. I guess so. We have to add, you know, those graphs that like those infographics that are like, and here's everyone in the New York Times, and half of them have like a Jewish star above them because it's like they're Jews, and here's CNN, and like 75% are Jews. We need to add PragerU to that like anti-Semitic thing because it's like
remember is the most correct army of the world and.
Of course, kill all brown people, you know, kill all terrorists. So yeah, that's and also like it's also like a kind of lip service to the whole like evangelical like the final battle is going to happen in Israel, so we need to support Israel. National sovereignty, yeah. Right to self-defense, of course. We have the right to kill everyone. Constitutional carry. Damn, that's a great slogan. We support constitutional carry. No, we don't want like open carry. We want constitutional carry. Okay, a bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure that if you just like read through this and you're like an expert on like gun control legislation, you can find some like kooky, insane shit. But I'm not an expert on these things. Unfunded mandates. I have no idea what those are. War powers. Congress should not abdicate the war powers to the executive branch except when under immediate threat and not to be used as a preemptive strike unless approved by Congress. Isn't that what George W. Bush, Texas Republican, introduced recently? Question mark. Yeah. I don't know.
Ooh, 89, that's funny.
Lockdowns never again. The Republican Party of Texas calls upon our elected officials to never again implement mass. It's like the Holocaust. Mass lockdowns on the people or on the people. Our business. That's like not great English. And churches in the name of. They use one article. And then they use another type of article, and then they just drop the articles. I don't know. That's like really bad English. In the name of communicable disease response, nor should Texas officials ever again presume they know better how to treat or prioritize the medical treatments of Texans and to make command and control edicts that dictate to healthcare providers how to do their job. We oppose funding or implementation of any form of contact. So that's like just straight up just being dumb. Like, I get the lockdown shit because it's like, I don't know, you're like blah, 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 like constitutional absolutist. But like contact tracing is not like I follow you around like everywhere you go. It's I know who you were in close contact with when you got the funny virus, whatever.
Because they don't want to like expose who's at the Klan meeting.
Hate to break it to you, but the Klan wears face masks, so pretty sure they're well protected. I don't know. Limited executive power. Okay.
Well, you have skipped the point. The point.
Protecting constitutional rights regarding age. To deny rights and privileges to adult citizens based solely on their age. Oh, so it's like we don't want like old people to be like prevented from doing things that are dangerous for the collective or anything like that. Confirming the duties of citizenship at one age while conferring the privileges of citizenship at another different age is an unconstitutional practice in violation of the 14th Amendment. I wonder how much they love the 14th Amendment. I wonder if we'll see anything about the 14th Amendment later.
14th Amendment.
Can I actually like search anything in this document? Link to searchable PDF. Okay, perhaps I should like use this one instead.
Yeah, we get the vibe.
Of course, I'll get the Chinese. We support a change to the. Oh, it was that one. Yeah, they don't love the 14th Amendment when it's about like brown people. They love it when it's about old people who vote Republican. Criminal and civil justice, parents' rights. We support legislation ensuring that the parents' rights to raise and educate their children are protected in Texas law. So it's like homeschooling, of course.
So basically, no school.
Yeah.
Base, no school.
Okay. CPS. I wonder.
Child Protection Services.
Oh, okay. Wait, but aren't they like against like crime? Wouldn't this increase crime because then those children end up on the streets? Question mark. Whatever.
It's their fault for not getting over their abuse.
Abortion homicide exemption. The physician homicide exemption of the Texan Penal Code Section 19.06 shall be modified to apply only to non-elective abortions such as required to save the life of a mother. Of course. Capital punishment. Properly applied, capital punishment is legitimate and should be reasonably swift while respecting all due process, of course.
So they want the death penalty.
Yeah. Police, firefighters, and other first responders appreciations. Okay. We must like support the police. To require officers to get written or recorded consent, i.e. body cams, to conduct a search and to inform motorists that they can decline such consent if the search is not based on a probable cause or arrest. Damn, they really do oppose stop and frisk. Mental health support, backup, protection from arbitrary stops, of course, for only openly carrying a firearm. We urge the repeal of the Texan Penal Code obscenity exemption, which allows children access to harmful, explicit, or pornographic materials under the guise of education materials. Okay.
What?
Whatever. We call upon the Texas legislature to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure to allow victims of human trafficking to have convictions within the previous 5 years for prostitution offenses set aside if they receive these convictions as a direct result of being trafficked. Wait, damn, that's like progressive as fuck. What the fuck?
Read the on above.
To abolish civil asset forfeiture and to ensure private property only be forfeited upon a criminal. Oh, of course. Wait, how would that work though? Isn't like forfeiting assets also like if you go bankrupt? Question mark? I don't know. No fucking clue. But this is a language I'm not too familiar with. Okay, we oppose all forms of NSA, location and data privacy. Damn, holy shit. Hate crimes. We urge the complete repeal of the hate crime laws, since ample laws are currently in effect to punish criminal behavior towards other persons. I want to be able to say the N-word in public and not be punished. Defendants charged with violating a government regulation should have the right to see the enabling law. Okay. We suppose the indefinite detention of United States citizens without due process, except Hillary Clinton.
What?
And Antifa.
And Antifa, who are going to be sent to Guantanamo Bay, where the United States Constitution does not apply. Any day now, the military is going to take over the government and kill all communists. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We oppose the abusive use of class action lawsuits. We believe religious institutions have the freedom to recognize and perform only those marriages that are consistent with their doctrine. I believe no one disputes that. 119. Pandemic release. The Republican Party of Texas opposes the release of convicted felons from prison due to a risk of infection within the prison system during a pandemic. They should just get the virus and die. They are.
Our capitals just kill the preacher for not pay the tax.
Yeah, but like this actually, like, okay, let me. Private prisons in Texas. I wonder if this is like. I love how there's reviews on jails.
Wait, there are private jails?
In Microsoft Bing, connected to Facebook, there are reviews on jail. Will I get like a number of like how many there are and how many prisoners they get? They have no fucking clue. Okay, so like, isn't this like a violation of like
Human rights.
private? No. It's a violation of like sort of businesses like right to run their business, because it's like you have private prisons, So if the
If you let the prisoners out, you lose money.
No, because if they get the thing and they die, they lose their slaves. So they might want to save money by putting them out and making them work outside. I don't know. Fucking no clue. Okay. Political policing. Oh, okay. Like any fucking Texas Republican is going to be targeted in Texas for political purposes. Come the fuck on. Police brutality. The Republican Party of Texas opposes police brutality, except when it's the looters.
We oppose police brutality, except we want to establish death penalty.
No, they already have the death penalty. They don't need to do that. Wait, what the fuck? The Texas legislature should ban collective bargaining with police unions. Based! Incredibly based. What the fuck? They're so anti-union that they even hate police unions. Okay. Oppose riots. Okay. Okay. Right. Education. Okay. Like a bunch of fucking shit. No fucking time to read any of this shit. Abolish the Department of Education!
No more
What?
school.
What do you mean just abolish the Department of It? This is like some Libertarian Party shit.
This is a liberal Pol Pot, of course.
Okay. Eliminate the Harris County Department of Education. What the fuck? Okay, so they just hate this particular county Department of Education.
No more books.
We urge the Texas legislature to recognize the rights of those on college campuses to practice their faith and the right to free speech. We further urge that the Texas legislature write legislation to protect the rights of students, faculty, and invited guests and speakers. I wonder if I just go up there with, like, I don't know, Lenin. Yeah, like, they don't know who that is. Like, I love Lenin, debate me bros. Like, I wonder if I go to a Texas campus that's not in Houston. Because, like, Houston is, like, a normal place, right? And I'm pretty sure there's, like, a couple other Texas, like, big cities where people have brains, right? I'm pretty sure everywhere else, I'm just gonna get, like, shot, right? I wonder if the Texas Republican Party would, like, come out and staunchly and support me or whatever. I don't know.
I support Mars. You can't change me.
Like, yeah, they're basically saying that like campuses are communist institutions, and they just like suppress conservatives. We urge school administrations and officials to not infringe upon the yeah, it's the same fucking shit. We want them to be able to pray. Oh, by the way, like we recognize the rights of those on college campuses to practice their faith, right? And the right to free speech, right? Guess what? Let's see how consistent this is. Basic standards, a curriculum of reading. Okay. Shall not make special concessions based on religious practices. That's like anti-Muslim.
Jewish to an extent.
True, I guess. Now, we support the objective teaching of scientific theories. Okay, I also support the objective teaching of scientific theories, such as life origins and climate change. Okay, I support the objective
Okay.
teaching of life origins and climate change. They shall be taught as challengeable scientific theories, subject to change as new data is produced.
Bruh.
Okay, as new data is produced makes it like kind of okay, I guess. Teachers and students shall discuss the strengths and weaknesses of these theories openly without fear of retribution and discrimination of any kind. I love how just like how veiled language this is for like, yeah, we believe that like professors should just be able to like say, yeah, but this is just a theory and like actually creationism.
No. There is no climate change.
Also, yeah, no climate change. Of course. Climate change is a Chinese hoax. We favor strengthening our common American identity, which includes the contribution and assimilation of diverse racial and ethnic groups. We reject critical race theory as a post-Marxist ideology that seeks to undermine the system of law and order itself and to reduce individuals to their group identity alone. We support legislation to remove this ideology from government programs, including education involving race discrimination and racial awareness. I don't know why I just became Scottish. To facilitate the appreciation of our American identity, the contrast between freedom and the tyrannical history of socialism and communism throughout history must be taught. Students shall pledge allegiance to the United States and Texas flags daily to instill patriotism. Students have the right to display patriotic items on school property. Schools should have the option to display the national motto, "In God We Trust."
So they basically doing the militarize the school focus too.
Yeah, like we're going reintroduce the Bellamy salute. Do 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 do. That would be that would be pretty funny. We love the Bellamy salute. Nobody would get that reference. Yeah, we encourage non-English speaking students to transition via best practices to English within 2 years, allowing them to quickly assimilate and succeed in American society.
Moralism, cultural policy, and Vic 2.
Yeah. I mean, this entire paragraph is just like it's just like fantastic, you know, perfect. It is exactly what I was looking for in this document.
Spicy meatball.
It is a spicy meme, incredible. Yeah, there's a bunch of like specific shit. We demand the state legislature. I'll get to you. We demand the state legislature pass a law prohibiting teaching of sex education, sexual health, or sexual choice or identity in any public school in any grade whatsoever. So, no sexual education. Get fucked.
No, they want to remove the school anyway.
LMAO. Oh my god, there's like a bunch of there's just a bunch of stuff where that's like we hate trans people, we hate gays, etc.
Remember the point of we want the liberty of free expression of everyone.
Yeah, that's it. It appears like they're not so liberty absolutists after all. Wait, what do you mean? Legislators shall prohibit reproductive health care services, including counseling, referrals, and distribution of condoms and contraceptions through public schools.
So basically,
What?
they want to ban condoms and
Yeah. What is insane, though, to me, is that, like, this. They also want to ban abortions. They just want to flood Texas with, like, the children of 16-year-old, like, incest consumed in public schools.
No,
Like,
I think it's more probably that sex will become a illegal thing that is
before marriage, okay, yeah.
that penalty if you do sex without marriage.
Okay, yeah, that fixes all the problems that we just created.
About the healthcare in public schools. Yeah, so like schools, I mean, even like the rather progressive area where I live, like they're, I don't know, like they really get like condoms to be available at like the like through school healthcare, but they're still trying to get like tampons.
Right, of course. So it's like not. I mean, to be honest, we don't like really have that much of that in our public school system. But I don't know. I guess we just have a very very different. Like no one has trouble having access to that kind of healthcare.
Condoms.
Yeah, those kind of healthcare products here. I love how like support military families, of course. Due process for teachers should be a wait. Okay, that's just kind of like saying, I don't know, cars should be allowed to drive. Like, isn't due process like protected by the Constitution for all citizens? Whatever, nobody knows. We support abolishing the system of tenure in academia. What? No, wait, how? What the fuck? So they're like, let's just not have professors, right? They just only want like temporary professors.
Wait, if they are elected professor based anarchist school.
No. This is like a corporate. This is like a corporation.
I can know. I just meaning.
And like the funny part is like they did something like this in a few, especially for example in Washington D.C. and a few other places, where they basically introduced like teacher evaluation algorithms that were supposed to basically score teachers, and like out of 100 they would take like the bottom 2% and fire them, right? And what they found out is that this is a fucking terrible idea, because
literally psychopaths.
You cannot score teachers on like an objective basis, because the students are different. Like the literal like data pool for each individual teacher is too small for a statistically relevant scoring to be made on like their like on the scholarly achievement of their pupils. So this is like a fucking terrible idea, but whatever. All Texas students shall have access to all state-supported grants. Damn, communism. Illegal aliens should not be eligible for state or federal grants or financial assistance. That's just, this is like, they love just like saying obvious shit. It's like, who the fuck in the United States gives state or federal grants or financial assistance to illegal aliens? They don't have goddamn documents. Of course.
I think that's what they think that like Democrats just like go down to like the homeless shelter and just like offer them their wives and like, you can fuck her.
In the state of Washington, they actually have that though.
Damn. Time to move to the state of Washington. Finance. We believe in the principle of, yeah, you already said that. To this end, we encourage our elected officials at all levels of government to work to reverse the current trend of expanding government and the growing tax and debt burdens that places on we the people. Okay. U.S. tax burdens compared to other countries.
To compare to not federalized.
Among developed nations, Americans' tax bills are below average. Yeah, guess pretty sure you should stop fucking complaining. State fiscal restraint. Adopt zero-based budgeting. What is that?
Zero. You received zero.
Oh my god. Acquiring a private sector efficiency commission for each governmental department. Okay, that's kind of. As an Italian, I understand that.
ANCAP moment.
Oppose the use of earmarks as a part of the budget and spending process. But wait, wouldn't that be like bad for their political favors? Well, earmarks is a political issue. Actually, it's basically when like to pass a bill, like you can just insert within that bill like a tiny little clause that pleases a lawmaker from a certain state to secure their vote that like earmarks funds for like to like build a random bridge in their district or whatever, so that they go to their voters and they're like, hey, I got this bridge built. I guess it's because it's like government shit. But like, see, that's the thing about Republicans. Like, they act also like anti, like, subsidies and all that. But when it's their business partners and their base that suffers, they're the first to, shell out a bunch of money, like source 2007, 2008 bailouts. You know what I mean? And 2020. They're pretty cringe, yes. So I never understand this like fiscal concept. Like every Republican president like increases the deficit. I don't get how anyone in America like ever believes that Republicans are fiscal, like frugal, like they're just like some fucking stoic Roman emperor with their finances. I don't. I will never understand.
You give it to the army and call it self-defense.
Maybe Roman Emperor is a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, because it's like just give it to the troops. I don't know.
And the troops will eventually evolve into endless civil war.
That would be very interesting. I'm pretty sure we're like 20 years away from that for the US, but we got pretty close last year. Not that close, but like somewhat close. I just can't wait until America collapses into 125 little warlords and like factions that all kill each other. I just can't wait.
You realize the death toll for that would be like,
oh, it would be incredible. Yeah, it would be like insane. And it would be kind of like a global economic issue, It would cause World War III, because then everybody else would start to just like try to grab the U.S. sphere of influence / power vacuums would be filled up with like terrible actors and all that. The U.S. kind of sucks, but at the moment there's very little other, choice to maintain global order. So if the US collapses, then the global order collapses, and then World War III. But whatever. I'm not sure. I feel like the Dengists, like the true Dengists, would be like the Xi Jinping like fought
the 50 Cent warriors.
The 50 Cent warriors. We don't have a term for Xi Jinpingists yet, but like, the Xi Jinping version of Dengists would be like, no, with crying like Voyak face. The glorious China could protect the international peace all by itself. Super angry.
Eventually, it's gonna happen in like 100 years, though, not now.
Yeah, in like 100 years, maybe 50. Global power by 2050, 2 centenary goal. PRC greatest country in the world. Gambling we opposed, blah blah blah, except for Native Americans. Veto session, state income tax ban. We support maintaining the current ban on state income taxes. So there's no income tax in Texas.
Oh, literally third world mindset.
Like, what the fuck? Truth in taxation. We urge that taxes established for a particular purpose shall not be used for any other purpose. How would you be able to, like, control that. I don't know. We need to death tax. Abolish the estate tax, commonly known as the death tax. What is the estate tax? Is it like just like money that's like levied on like real estate? What the fuck? Is a tax on your right to oh, it's transfer property on death. Okay.
Inheritance tax.
Yeah, it's an inheritance tax. That they just want to like not have their poor like millionaire friends lose 10% of their millions when they die, and they pass it on to their stupid fucking fail son.
That's why you build a pyramid. You spend all the money on your own property.
Number 178 is fantastic. Abolish property tax. They just want to abolish all the fucking taxes, you know. We oppose the Robin Hood system of public school finance and believe the Texas legislature, not the courts, should determine the amount of money spent on public education and the distribution thereof. Okay, so we just hate like welfare distribution. Holy shit, we support the legislation that limited property tax revenue increases to 2.5% for school maintenance and 3.5% for most other units of government, which is like a pathetically small amount. Although I guess that is a state tax and not like federal tax, but whatever. School maintenance, tax notice for renters, anything hilarious.
Oh, 191.
191. Public broadcasting. We oppose tax dollars for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Okay. Alrighty then. So
Did the Fed, that's the hilarious one.
audit the Fed. We support additional accountability and transparency for the Federal Reserve System. Isn't that against the independence of the central bank?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's like political control of the central bank.
It's like not exactly, you
was
know,
like a-
yeah.
The audit the Fed was like a Tea Party crank thing like a few years back. Now it's like a mainstream position in like economic circles. It's hilarious.
Damn. The state of Texas should use any undedicated federal election funds received to improve the security of a... I see what's going on here. Okay. Elected appraisal boards, sexual harassment. Oh, okay. Oh, of course, because it's like they're against sexual harassment because persons in a position of responsibility should conduct themselves in a family-friendly manner. It's not because women are people. It's because think about the family values. Okay. I mean, we believe any government authority that has the ability to levy a tax or fee on the people should be accountable to those who pay the taxes via the electoral process from the local level to the federal level. That's just called representative democracy. Federal land in
No,
Texas.
No, because it's those who pay the taxes.
Also, because the EPA should not be allowed to levy environmental taxes or something. I don't
Back
know.
to the point 196. Notice the wording. People
Yes.
should be accountable to those who pay the taxes via electoral process. It's not. It's specifically not representative democracy.
Oh,
sense-
well, it is. It's like a. Well, it's still a representative democracy. It's just with people disenfranchised if they don't pay
It's in the
taxes.
Austrian electoral system.
Yeah.
1890s.
All federal land in Texas should be returned to and administered by Texas. I love it. Except for land specifically authorized in the Constitution. I love it. It's like, let's just
No national. park.
nationalized. Yeah, I know. Let's just like state nationalize the land. Holy shit. It appears that Texas is going full Maoist. Anyway, we oppose the use of pledge cards. I have no idea what those are. House committees. Not that of special interests or lobbyists. Okay. Like oil companies. We support pro-life public health committee, a pro-constitutional carry, and pro-police public safety and homeland security committee. Pro-traditional values state affairs committee. Okay. Republican Party should provide financial support only to those candidates who support the right to life planks. We oppose the appointment of unelected bureaucrats. And we support defending and abolishing the departments or agencies of the... Wait, we support the defunding and abolishing the departments or agencies of the Internal Revenue Service, education, you already said that you want to abolish the Department of Education, energy, housing and urban development, commerce, health and human services, labor, interior, specifically the Bureau of Land Management, Transportation Security Administration, alcohol, tobacco, firearms and explosives, oh, the good old ATF, and a National Labor Relations Board. In the interim, executive decisions by departments or agencies must be reviewed and approved by the Congress before taking effect. So they just want to abolish like 90% of the federal government, I suppose. They just went full libertarian. Like, what the fuck? I love this. It's so all over the place. Like, I don't know.
Well, you forgot there's one thing tying it all together.
One thing tying it all together. I don't know what.
Two things. Protecting fetuses and
Well, yeah.
keeping brown people.
No. Oh, yeah. Like as a whole, yeah. But like, also like, the end. I guess the top of that pyramid would be like big business. It's like big business on top. Then we don't want like down there. We don't want brown people, and we don't want abortion. But the funny part is like they want to expand government power, and this is like just in general a Republican thing. They want to expand government power so much when it comes to certain things. Like, again, we don't want no goddamn N-words. We don't want no goddamn abortions. We don't want no goddamn communists and all that. And then they just want to abolish the, like, IRS. The IRS, I don't know. Like, we want to, like, abolish the ATF. Okay, I guess that makes sense for, Texas because, like, boom, boom, guns. The TSA. Wait, hold on. So the Transportation Security Administration, I wonder if they regulate, like, trucks. They just want, like, trucks to be able to, like, take meth and drive for 50 hours a day. Okay. Pay to play. We oppose pay to play endorsement slates and encourage Republican primary versus exercise extreme caution. Okay. We support that early voting will be limited to 7 days, ending on the Friday before Election Day. Okay. We support the right of eligible voters to cast a ballot in each election once, but oppose illegal voting, illegal assistance, or ineligible persons register. Oh, yes, of course. Here we go. We support vigorous enforcement of all our election laws as written and oppose any laws, lawsuits, or judicial decisions that make voter fraud very difficult to deter, detect, or prosecute. We support voter photo ID, internet voting for public office, and any ballot measure should be prohibited because the Venezuelans are going to hack it to install communism in the United States.
I mean, they are correct about the electrical voting machines. That's just stupid. But the rest of this is just racism.
I mean, the source for the whole, like, voting machines, like, got hacked shit is the admin of 8chan. So,
I mean, I'm not saying that it's like, the, like, bullshit claims are legit. What I'm saying is I don't trust any voting where you can't do a recount.
Okay. Yeah, that is understandable.
As a person who is in election commissions, I am highly skeptical of these like things that the Americans have.
There's a bunch of random legal shit. We support restoring integrity to the voter registration rolls and reducing voter fraud. Of course. We support periodic check on the voter rolls. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Ballot harvesting. Campaigning at poll sites. We encourage free speech at polling sites outside of the existing boundaries, which is 100 feet. I have no idea what that is because I don't speak freedom.
I'm very Americans be like, trust me, feet are very important for measurements.
We oppose any identification. The disclaimer: we oppose any identification of citizens by race, religion, creed, or oppose any such identification for purposes of creating voting districts. We urge that the Voting Rights Act of 165, codified and updated in 1973, be repealed. What the? Hold on. Weren't you opposing? Isn't this the one where it's like you can't discriminate?
Yeah, exactly.
Voting Rights Act 1965. So expanded the 14th and 15th Amendment by banning racial discrimination in voting practices. So we oppose any identification of citizens by race, origin, or creed, and oppose any use. We oppose use of any such identification for purposes of creating voting districts. But we also want to repeal the legislation that prevents us from hypothetically discriminating based on race, origin, or creed.
That could be an idea for another.
Listen,
video.
once
Like,
again,
you have
the-
to take one of those Southern literacy tests. that they
Once
get
again,
Oh
the-
yeah, that would.
yeah.
I need to
Once
find
again,
one of those.
the
Yeah.
legalese is very important because it's the oppose any such identification for purposes of creating voting districts,
Yes.
not so it's like
Not as a
the
whole.
voting yeah, not as a whole, or like not for the purposes of not allowing them to vote.
Yep. We support our right to select our judges by direct vote. Oh boy, that's such a great idea. English and only English shall appear on any ballot for any election in the United States of America and the state of Texas.
Probably unconstitutional because America doesn't have a language.
Fucking yeah. We support protecting the integrity of Republican primaries. Okay, I don't care about your Republican primaries. We oppose campaigns to get liberal Democrats to cross over and move the Republican Party to the. Who does that? Come on. Who the fuck does entryism in the Republican Party to shift it to the left? The fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it would be incredibly funny.
That would be hilarious. Oh no, the Council Foreign Policy. The first item is the Council on American Islamic. That's not a foreign entity, though, is it? I'm pretty sure that's an American institution. It's in Seattle. That's not foreign policy. All Muslims are foreign. We hereby call on all law enforcement and government agencies in Texas to avoid and suspend all contact and outreach activities with the Council on American Islamic Relations, named and indicted co-conspirators in the Holy Land Foundation trial with ties to terrorist groups such as Hamas. Okay, so funny fact number one, the Council on American Islamic Relations is the Islamist party in the old Millennium Dawn. Also, I have no idea what the Holy Land Foundation trial is, but I love how it's like, we urge everyone to not talk to the Muslims. Foreign policy was
throw Hamas in there when probably most American Muslims are Sunnis.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hamas are Sunnis.
Like, is it the Jews who made this law?
I think I might mistake.
I'm pretty sure it's not the Jews. I'm pretty sure it's like the Christian ISIS, like Christian dominionist type bullshit, like radical evangelicals and all that.
Did you not see what I posted the other day?
No, I don't look at your posts.
What do you mean, the bad Islamic, bad Arab takes or whatever it's called?
No, please send me that later. We support a foreign policy that relies on peace through the strength of our national defense and the vote. Yeah, it's this is for people with a Roman, a classical Roman marble statue as their profile picture, and their profiles on all social media has si vis pacem para bellum, which is if you want peace, prepare for war, as a quote, as their favorite quote.
They spell Europa with a V.
Yeah, and people
Yeah.
who spell Europa with a V. And avoids foreign deployments or damn, Texas Republican Party going isolationist. I mean, if they're Trump isolationist, they're not isolationist, but whatever. We support a free market economy, providing private humanitarian aid to developing countries. Continued favorable treatment on proven allies like Saudi Arabia, censure of adversarial entities that seek destruction of other countries.
China.
Just censure China, yes.
North Korea.
And strong policies on confronting terrorism. Wait, you avoid foreign policy or foreign deployments or entanglements. Strong policy on confronting terror. Pick one or the other, bro. Like, how? Whatever. We strongly oppose religious or ethnic cleansing.
Yet
Oh,
you
good.
want to force
Oh.
every Spanish-speaking
I was
American to
waiting
learn.
for that.
Yeah, exactly. We oppose U.S. aid to. Oh, also, and we hate Muslims. You know, we oppose U.S. aid to any foreign entity that consistently votes against our interests and is openly hostile to our nation.
Which is not Saudi Arabia.
In the UN or like at like the Council for Maintenance of French Language, like both there.
Oh, there's a lot of hilarious stuff coming. There's a lot of amazing stuff coming in. So, trade with China. We support a re-examination of our trading relationship with China based on America's economic and foreign policy interests. America should not be dependent on a communist country, which is not a thing, by the way, for critical medical or technological resources, including prescription drugs like penicillin. The People's Republic of China aggression. China's aggression in the South China Sea endangers international trade routes and infringes on allied nations' sovereignty. Which ones?
Vietnam.
Taiwan is not an allied nation of the United States. Philippines, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Philippines.
Indonesia.
But the funny part is also Vietnam, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Vietnam. Yeah. The cybersecurity threat. Also, you know, communist nation, bad. You know, communism, blah blah blah. Vietnam is their ally, and they don't type it out. The cybersecurity threat posed by China continues to grow. I'm pretty sure also the cybersecurity threat posed by the United States continues to grow. We support the people of Hong Kong in their quest for freedom and democracy and call for China to honor its agreements with the United Kingdom. They never violated the handover terms
Yeah, because
yet.
there were no like. Yeah.
The handover terms were basically just one country, two systems, which they haven't really like taken out yet. Okay, whatever. We support foreign aid only to America's allies who share our values. Iran and
Texas Republican Party and like Saudi Arabia.
yeah, they're very like see, like if you just, that's the secret, you know, if you replace Muslim with Christian, all no Christian or Judeo-Christian, all fucking like hard Islamic fundamentalist values magically become the same values as the values of some of these people. They're very compatible, you know. We want to kill all the women or whatever, right? We want to kill all the gay people. We want to kill all the people who aren't like us. Yeah. Anyway, Iran and North Korea. We oppose development of nuclear weapons by Iran and North Korea. Bit late for that one, buddy. And we oppose easing sanctions on either country until their hostile behavior and nuclear proliferation cease. Understandable.
They want to like desert storm through Pyongyang.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in
Okay, no,
their
this one,
dreams.
This one. As long as we get to this one before I leave.
Yeah. We are grateful to the U.S. Embassy in Israel has been moved to Jerusalem, Israel's eternal and indivisible capital. We strongly affirm Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. We insist upon Israel's rights to exist, right to secure borders, and right to the land secured by practicing self-defense from its aggressive enemies. We oppose the creation of a Palestinian state within the historical borders of Israel, as it would jeopardize Israel's security and it will force Israel to give up the land that God gave to the Jewish people as referenced in Genesis. We reaffirm our support for Israel's maintaining a qualitative military edge over any and all adversaries through continued support militarily, financially, and technologically. We respect Israel's rights of sovereignty, self-determination, and self-defense.
Now, just a thing, Woodstock.
Who do I need to ban? Okay, good.
I think that was Sodium.
So, go ahead.
Woodstock.
But
Look what I sent you in DMs.
yeah, about that whole like. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
Okay, so about like the whole like natural borders thing.
Oh, is that like
Is-
Eretz Israel?
Well, no, remember that like Israel like Cold War playthrough you did where you like
Yeah.
like across the Fertile Crescent?
Yeah, it's that one, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah, I
they
think it's
obviously
like a-
mean just like the like full like Israel Palestine, but
Do you see do you see this map?
Yeah, it's like a revisionist Zionist.
Yeah,
thing.
because the Torah somewhere says that like
it says like
the
from
children
Euphrates
of
to
Israel,
Nile.
will go from the Euphrates to the Nile. So that's actually very sneaky if you think about it, because
I think these people just mean like the like full like Israel plus Palestine plus Gaza. I
yeah,
don't
they
think mean that.
probably only mean that, and like I guess the most like chauvinistic
Like, they did,
would
like,
include maybe
Sinai
not
and Jordan.
no not Jordan, because Jordan is an ally of the US, but like Sinai, and these people don't know that Egypt is like I think like the second largest customer for US weapons or something like that. Maybe not exactly the second one, but it's a huge customer for US weapons and a huge US ally, but I'm pretty sure they don't know. Okay, let's ban this anti-Semitic fuck.
Oh, it's Leninator.
Oh, it's Leninator. Oh, then he's not he's got the pass. He's anarchist. Uh, this might get the video flagged for that might be like copyrighted or whatever. We oppose the anti-Semitic boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. Blah blah blah. Taiwan. We call upon the United States to move towards full diplomatic recognition of Taiwan as an independent and sovereign nation. You do know that would instantly degrade the diplomatic relations of the United States with China from
mean, they do
full
want to boycott
diplomatic
China.
relations to just informal contact, therefore plunging the world into a newly heightened state of instability such as the world has never seen since the Cuban Missile Crisis.
But
Woodstock,
bro, like
Taiwan is
we're
the
gonna like
original China.
we're gonna D-Day Shanghai.
You know
do want,
I would love it if like there was 110-year-old Texas Republican ghoul who's like, I absolutely support the right of Chiang Kai-shek to defeat the communist menace and reclaim the whole
We're still
China.
alive.
I know, right? Where's fucking MacArthur that wants to nuke China where you need it?
Yeah. Support it.
Oh boy, the United Nations. The United Nations is a detriment to the sovereignty of the United States and other countries. And because of this, we support our withdrawal from the current United. Just straight up. See, I love how like the UN right now is not that important, like all things considered, but like I just love like the idea of like we're just going to withdraw from the United Nations being the first thing. The removal of the United Nations from United States soil, just the victim from New York. The rejection of all Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 policies and programs. The New World Order must be stopped. They will not turn the frogs gay. The rejection of all related NGOs, councils, and I mean, you just hate the UN. The opposition of any designation of World Heritage sites in the United States and especially in Texas. But why?
That's a new one that is even among like liberals. They think that like UNESCO is anti-Semitic and is like against growth.
natural sites are in resources.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for the Texans that would be that. Um, See, they don't understand that World Heritage sites are only like buildings or whatever, right? Although I guess they fear that like some Native American. Yeah, I'm pretty sure World Heritage sites. Oh no, yeah, there's like also wildlife heritage. Yes.
Yeah,
But like Woodstock,
like
they
the
should also
Niagara
make
Falls.
preserve the sites of U.S.
Also,
generals from the Civil War, like especially the South generals.
also, all of these things, people think that like the UNESCO can like make laws or regulation in regards to the sites as opposed to just recommendations. It's like what all of these people believe, even like neoliberals. Yeah, they especially hate UNESCO.
Yo, hold on. This is a pretty bad looker. UN Treaty on the Rights of the Child. We unequivocally oppose the United States Senate's ratification of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. What is that? United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child. I bet it's like, I don't know, education or something. Like, I feel like
Child
it's
labor.
child labor. Protect children's rights. Any person under the age of 18. When adults make decisions, they should think about their decisions will affect children. Governments should make sure the children are protected and looked after by their parents. I mean, they do want to abolish like childcare services, so that would they would kind of violate that one.
And also abolish the definition of child because
Yeah, I mean, libertarian sexual. Making rights real, family guidance as children develop, life survival and development, develop in the best possible way. It must be registered when they're born and given a name which is officially recognized by the government. Right to their own
This is like
identity.
for Africa. Like Texas shouldn't have any problem with this.
This is like very basic stuff, you know. Protection for kids. Aren't these guys like the goddamn communist Jew Muslims are engaged in a international satanic conspiracy to kidnap children and drink their blood, you know?
Child has value in a libertarian society. Doesn't matter what they do.
The child has no value in society, period, except for when they grow up, children are completely fucking useless and should be exterminated. If it wasn't for, this is like just my hot take, if it wasn't for the fact that children and especially teenagers grew up into adults, they should be exterminated. But you know, they grow up, so I just like,
Wow,
you know, it is necessary.
2/3 of your audience like that.
Actually, I'm pretty sure like only like 20% is like under 18 or something. I haven't looked at those statistics in a while. Yeah, this is like a very, this is just a very very basic like, don't treat children bad. You know,
That's why they hate it.
don't sell children.
There it is, children in detention. That's why.
Should not be put in prison with adults.
Yeah, put in prison forever. That's I think the crux that they have it.
Kids into prison.
I don't understand why they would be against this, but like, I'll just trust their judgment that this is against their values. Okay.
There's penalty on children.
Yeah, I mean, we need. Oh no! Oh, the welfare reform, denying benefits to individuals who cannot provide citizenship, reforming welfare programs to require recipients to work, learn, and train to move forward towards self-sufficiency. This is like literally the basis for the fucking neoliberal welfare state reforms of the 1980s. Well, actually, of the 2000s as well. Like, every country that has a welfare state left has this as the principle for the welfare state. You don't need to be preaching this, Texas Republicans. Everyone is on your side in this one in terms of like representative democratic, I don't know, political forces. Reforming remains substance abuse free, okay, except for, you know, I mean, it's for welfare programs, so like it doesn't affect rich people. Requiring all welfare recipients to submit to random drug testing, okay. Requiring that money provided through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food stamps, I'm guessing, be used for only for nutritious foods consistent with those included under the WIC program, and be released only with a photo ID of the again with these fucking photo IDs for anti-government, like, I don't know, like rights absolutists. They sure do love having photo IDs of people.
No, you really don't understand like what they think that like some like fat black lady will like walk
Yep.
up and claim that like, oh shit,
That they're a kid or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Removing prisoners from welfare rolls, so that then when they're sent back into society, they have no way to fall back on anything, and they will go back into prison and be slave labor. We support the abolition of all federal welfare programs, as they are not an appropriate role of the federal government. Okay, I mean, by now, this is like just like not even like weird. It's just like, okay, let's just put another one. Homosexuality. We believe that there should be no granting of special legal entitlements or creation of special status for homosexual behavior. Okay, of course. Gender identity, blah, 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 blah. I think I don't care about any of these other things. Blah, blah, blah. It's all fucking insane.
255.
Yeah, 255.
Water supply. The Republican Party of Texas opposes medication of the drinking water supply of the state of Texas, including but not limited to fluoridation. They're putting chemicals in the water to turn the friggin' frogs gay. Ah, yes, they're putting fluoride in the water. Everyone.
254, also hilarious.
Medications and prescription drugs consumed in the U.S. should be manufactured in the U.S. for security, consistency, and reliability. Oh, like a Purdue Pharma products that are just like fucking opiates that will get you addicted worse than like black market drugs. How secure?
I love how they basically want to embargo the U.S. from the inside.
Yeah, they want a bit of what's it called? The self-sufficiency self-sufficiency policy. Let me see what states apply this one. Autarky. Which countries use autarky? Autarky economics. Encyclopedia Britannica. Oh, Nazi Germany, 1933, 1945. Oh, North Korea. Oh, really now? Oh, Adam Smith was one of the first modern thinkers to question the benefits of autarkic policies.
don't you know Woodstock? Like Adam Smith didn't invent capitalism. That was Ayn Rand.
Holy shit. Also,
people forget about when they talk about this. People forget about Eritrea, one of the most.
Yeah. They want to repeal Obamacare. By now, this is like just not even like funny. It's just normal. You already said that you oppose contact tracing. It's a partial public health care.
Like, it's called Trump care now.
What the fuck? No, it's because of no. It would be called Trump care if it wasn't for John McCain epically trolling Trump. No, they were voting to repeal Obamacare in the Senate, and John McCain, like, he could barely fucking stand. He walked up to the fucking podium and was like, and he did a like I don't know, like Nero from the Gladiator with like the thumbs down, and it was like, vote no, I will keep Obamacare, and then he died, and then he fucking died.
In some fairness, like Trump did like basically just like humiliate John McCain for being captured in Vietnam.
Yeah, understandably, John McCain wasn't that big of a fan of Trump. Also, I love how that basically spawned Kirsten Sinema being retarded. And even if you know who she is and what she did, you're a fucking like nerd and you should die. Which includes me, by the way.
Wait, who is she?
Discriminatory abortion.
Kirsten Sinema is this Democrat from, I think, Nevada, who was acting all like fucking alternative, progressive shit, right? And then some legislation about, I don't exactly even remember. It was a few months ago. Minimum wage, yeah. Or it was something that would have been just like literally just beneficial for like bottom 50% income brackets, right?
Yeah, it was the minimum wage.
Yeah, it was minimum wage. And she just walks up to the podium and does the John McCain thing, except with like a anime girl flair to it. And it's like, I just want to kill myself, you know? Like, why do we have like American Congress women? Haha, you thought you were gonna cancel me. Just acting like anime girls. I don't know, whatever. Just to like fuck over the workers and poors, you know, whatever. We support completely eliminating Planned Parenthood. I mean, to be fair, you want to like defund everything so you wouldn't have the money for Planned Parenthood, so fiscally responsible. We support the adoption of human embryos and the banning of human embryo. What? Is this like homosexual couples?
I think that's like against like
adopting. Yeah, surrogate parent. Okay, whatever. 10-day rule. No idea what that is. I'm just trying to like very, very quickly go through this.
Pornographic crisis 285.
285. No. There's the 283 is actually even more hilarious. No. There's a lot of hilarious shit actually over here. We support the appropriate limits on the length of time to receive Social Security disability benefits for all, but those truly not able to do any kind of paid employment. Fuck everyone who gets workplace accidents or injuries or maladies. Toxic exposure. We support the immediate implementation of the Toxic Exposure Research Act of 2015, which will ensure that the federal government will establish a database on all veterans. Okay. We support allowing veterans to use at private medical providers and not be limited to VA hospitals.
And then
wait, hold on. You want to be fiscally responsive, right? So you make the veterans go with government subsidized money to incredibly expensive government hospitals.
Read the next one.
No, wait, replace the VA, but wait, weren't you talking about how we support replacing the Veterans Administration with a commercial insurance plan that allows eligible veterans to obtain health services from any licensed You want to privatize veterans' subsidies? But you support... They support the troops. Okay, let me get this straight. They support the troops. But they also want to make the troops go through Cyberpunk 2077 to get their...
They are veterans, they are no longer to think about it.
You should stay in the army until you die of old age or combat.
Yeah, like
I mean, to be fair, that does make sense within like Republican philosophy. Yes. Again, they want to return to the fucking Roman Empire when people like served in the army for 25 years, which was like at a time when 25 years was the entirety of your adult life. And then I guess after they're done, we're just going to give them like land. We're just so I don't know. Yeah, we're 15 years away from like the Republican Party literally just turning every single one of their policies into like literally like Caesar's platform. They're going to be literally just like
Caesar's Legion.
It's really hard. It's gonna be hard.
Holy shit, man!
It's gonna be
unfortunately. I do have to go now.
Oh yeah, I mean we're almost done, but thank you for your service. First in signaling the existence of this glorious document, and secondly in explaining the Israel part.
And yeah, please make sure this goes up to HQ because I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, it will.
Also, you skip 285, very important 285.
I mean, whatever. I shall recognize that pornography is a public health crisis. You know, pornography is a public health crisis. An extreme amount of 15-year-old incest babies being born from relationships that are caused by the lack of access to sexual education or, contraceptives that then devolve into like, oh my god, man.
Think about it, that's just more voters.
I suppose. Dependent women who wear our country's uniform. I mean, yeah, because they think that Democrats are like importing brown people. Right. Yes.
Yeah, but they are.
It's not the Democrats.
Okay. The Democrats. The men in
Democrats.
the Democrats. Yeah. I mean, we want the armed forces. Wait, hold on. Veterans Administration's monetary benefits shall match present national prices index in all programs. You want to replace the VA! Again, why do you want to reform it if you want to replace it? Nobody fucking knows. No gender norming in the military. Continuing and development and enhancement of our missile defense. We oppose placement of U.S. troops under command of the United Nations.
By the way, missile defense were banned by, I think, START 2 or the
ABM treaty, the anti-ballistic missile defense treaty. But that's I'm pretty sure that's expiring, and like there a bunch of other treaties were expiring, like the INF treaty for intermediate range missiles, and those didn't get renegotiated. So it seems highly likely that very, very soon there's going to be a proliferation of missile defense. Yeah, the policy just calls for defeat terrorism.
Easy.
You know that simple as just defeat terror. Just click the defeat terrorism national focus.
Hearts of Iron 4.
Holy shit, Hearts of Iron 4. Yeah, that thing that has existed since I don't know, since like people were assassinating each other for their sheep. Yeah, let's just defeat that. Yeah, I mean, just border security funding, eliminate illegal immigration magnets. Yeah, we know it. E-Verify should require all employers to screen new hires through the free E-Verify system to prevent the hiring of illegal aliens and of anyone not... Yikes. By the way, these people oppose that they were saying earlier, we oppose like all racial profiling, right? Yikes. Let's make e-profiles of bad people and deny them employment. Fucking sanctuary cities, which is just not real. Aiding or abetting illegal immigrants. National Guard deployment. What the fuck? The Texas National Guard should only be deployed to overseas combat zones under authorization of Congress for a declaration of war. That hasn't happened since World War II, but whatever. Oh my god, the Alamo! Honor our flags! I look at, looks like the their fucking PDF is broken after page 29. So I guess we're ending this wild ride with the Alamo. The Alamo is a historical event of Texas, and as such should be remembered and not reimagined. Texas's authority regarding the Alamo should not be infringed upon by any organization or authority, including but not limited to local governments, the federal government, the United Nations, or UNESCO. This is why they want to prevent heritage sites, so the Alamo doesn't become one. Okay, because they think that would give UNESCO any jurisdiction on it. That's not how UNESCO heritage sites work.
No, that no one knows that. Liberals don't know that either.
True.
That's why they also hate UNESCO.
decision-making authority for the Alamo must never be removed from Texas. The custodian of the Alamo must be required to affirm and emphasize the intrinsic significance of the 1836 Bet Victoria II starting date in telling the story of the Alamo, maintain the transparency and finances and operations of the Alamo. Specific protection shall be afforded the site, including all land and existing documents or monuments, including the cenotaph, which shall not be removed from its present site. So this is because, like, during the BLM last year, there were some like QAnon type people who were like, and we have classified sources informing us that Antifa is going to march an invading army on the Alamo and burn it to the ground, and the federal government is not going to do anything to stop it because they're secret Democrats or some fucking stuff like that. I'm pretty sure this is the reason why they're putting this in. And I love how they go, should be remembered and not reimagined. Now, what they mean by this is that the Alamo myth is that, like, a bunch of, wasps, basically, were, like, defending their ancestral homeland of Texas from the evil brown Mexicans, the evil brown tyrannical Mexicans, right? Ignoring the fact that until, like, 2 years earlier, when Texas rebelled, Texas was a state of Mexico, and like Mexican Texas originally were like the main force in the rebellion.
Yeah, and also that the Texas rebellion was a part of a larger rebellion against Santa Ana.
Yeah. So it was very much a internal Mexican affair until the glorious whites, the knights who defend freedom always everywhere, decided to betray the Mexican Texans and make Texas be annexed by the U.S. And by the way, the white settlers in Texas wanted to rebel against Santa Ana because Mexico banned slavery. They wanted to own people. They wanted to fucking own brown people. And so reimagining the Alamo would be teaching those things, right? And that should not be allowed.
Once again, Santa Ana should have simply exterminated the whites in Mexico.
True. Genocide all the black people. Anyway, there's like a bunch of things about historical monuments. Honor our flags.
Confederate monuments, obviously.
Oh, it just said, I missed it, of course, including, oh my god, we call for the restoration of plaques honoring the Confederate Widows Pension Fund contribution that were illegally removed from the Texas Supreme Court building. All right. Would there be like anything else interesting at the end? Or is this PDF also broken? Okay. Eminent domain, unfunded, employment privacy. We want employment privacy, to abolish and oppose fingerprinting and DNA blood sample collection as a requirement for licensure renewal, except for, but we want all people to be fucking classified along an e-verify system to make sure that all people we don't like don't get employment. I just love the instant contradiction, all the time. They just contradict themselves we support the reversal of Roe v. Wade. What was that one?
It's like bodily autonomy, so it has to do with abortion and black
people
being into the army.
Course.
It's very influential in a very
I knew the name, but I wasn't sure as to the content of it. I mean they just want a bunch of shit.
Abortion.
Abolish abortion. Gotta love it. Pro-life.
Homosexual behavior.
No gays. Yeah, okay. Gender identity pronouns! We oppose any attempt to criminalize and or penalize anyone for the wrong use of pronouns!
321. Read 321.
No-fault divorce! We urge the legislature to rescind unilateral no-fault divorce laws and support Covenant Mayor! Mexico abolished abortion in like 1938. I'm pretty sure. No, not abortion. Divorce. No, not abolish divorce. Divorce. Whatever.
Like a clerical.
Hold on. Where the? Why do you not tell me when the Mexico?
I think Mexico doesn't have divorce nor abortion.
No. I don't mean abortion. I mean, when did Mexico legalize divorce? 1971. Are you sure about that? Divorce law by country. You fucking cunt. Doesn't tell me. Whatever.
No divorce.
They just. Well, no, they do have divorce because at one point they tried to destroy the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to. Anyway, like, I love how these people just want to just turn the world back to 1901.
Yeah, they want Catholic ways of handling marriage in a country that's explicitly Protestant, and the only people who are Catholics are the people they don't want in the country.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god, I'm done. How much did this last? 1 hour and 55 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. Any concluding words for this masterpiece? The good people?
Marcos fucking fastest, Franco supporter.
By 2030, the Republican platform will be half Caesarism and the other half will be siege quoted directly.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. My god. Yeah. Texas. The great state of Texas, where the world is still in 1980.
That's how they
in 1860, pretty much.
They are killing the Alamo. They never left.
The Republicans will successfully make Texas back into a swing state.
I mean,
No, but they love
this,
Martin Luther King.
yeah, but they love Martin Luther King, which is my favorite thing. They always invoke Martin Luther King, when in reality they propose exactly the opposite. But whatever. Oh my god, I've just alienated my entire 12-man United States Republican audience. Yeah, as a disclaimer to all Republicans that are watching this video, I do support the internment of every single registered Republican in FEMA camps. And I will illegally emigrate to the United States and vote Democrat to make sure that happens. And with that...
If you don't want that to happen to you, simply stop being a Republican.
Simple as.
He's going to make all the ballots be written in Italian.
Don't touch my ballot. New Jersey is not real. Anyway, yeah, with that, I will end this ridiculous nightmare, and I will thank you all who stuck for 2 hours watching us. And actually, spoiler alert, next time we do something like this, where we're going to Russia, so...
A glorious victory, comrade.
We're going to fucking Russia, and it's going to be a wild fucking ride. So stay tuned for that.